Let's talk about LeBron James. He talked about ring culture. He said, I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the end all be all. Like, okay, you weren't a great player because you never won a championship. Or if you won one, you can't be in the same conversation with this person. You sit here and tell me Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Steve Nash effing weren't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with those guys because this guy won one ring or won two rings. It's just weird to me. He said a ring is a team accomplishment. And if you happen to have a moment where you are able to share that with your team, that should be discussed. This team was the greatest team. That team, you can have those conversations. So, what are your comments on LeBron James discussing ring culture?
I feel like, well, one, I kind of disagree with him because, um, one, those players can be talked about in the sense of like their talent compared to other greats. But as far as with the rings and stuff like that, um, you can still they don't have a seat at the table because they've never won a ring. You know what I mean? So like they can't really speak on that. But as far as their talent level and comparing them to other greats, you can still do that because of their skill level and their talent. It takes it takes a team to win a championship, not just one player. You know what I mean? So like people not talking about AI or Charles Barkley because they didn't win a ring, that's wrong. So I agree with him on that. But as far like as far as talent, you can still talk about them with the greats. It's just that you can't compare them when you're talking about great players that won a ring. That's just facts.
Okay, so like James Harden is the fourth best shooting guard ever, fifth or whoever. If people want to say AI, that's fine. But James Harden is either fourth or fifth best shooting guard ever. James Harden has not won a ring ever, but he has had great years in the NBA. But when it comes to just a top, like a top, okay, like a top two shooting guard, he can't be in there. He just can't. He didn't win. He hasn't won. He's not better than Jordan. He's not better than Kobe. Damn near not better than Wade. Now people want low key to put him over Wade
I'm not
because
putting
they
him
want
away,
because
bro.
they said if he wins a ring, he has a conversation. Because somehow I do this like hypothetically. I know I'm bringing up another football thing. I think Patrick Mahomes is a better player than Tom Brady. He's not greater than Tom Brady, but he's better than him. Patrick Mahomes does not have to win 7 rings to be greater than Tom Brady. He probably has to win at least one or two more rings. So either 4 or 5. Now, when it comes to James Harden or Wade, because James Harden probably had a better, I ain't gonna say career. He probably had way more seasons that was just better than Wade's to some. And if he just wins one more ring, if he just, I said one more, if he just wins one ring, people gonna say he better than Wade just because he's had just better years than him, has the MVP, and he has that one ring. But when it comes to just LeBron and ring culture, I can't put Steve Nash with Steph Curry and Magic. I can't do that. Even though Steve Nash has 2 MVPs, I can't put him in the conversation of one of the greatest
Mm.
ever. Now I can put him as one of the best ever, but best and greatest are different. I can put him as one of the best point guards ever, but I can't put him in one of the greatest. And rings just mean so much. Rings overpower everything. You can win, like, somebody can win 5 MVPs and you can never win a ring. You'll never be at the table with MJ, LeBron, Magic, Kareem. You'll just never
Mm.
be because a ring just holds so much weight. Should it hold that much weight? Yeah, no, because I feel like a ring isn't the end of everything, but it should because that's what we play for. We play to win championships.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, you can't be at the same table, but you can put them in the same breath as far as talent. Like Steve Nash can be in the same realm with Chris Paul and Curry and like Magic, like you said, is one of the best point guards to ever play because he had that skill set and that talent. But if we're talking about, all time greats, nah, you can't put him up there. He didn't win. And every NBA player would tell you the most important thing is winning. Even LeBron said it himself before he even got that first chip. All he wanted to do was win a ring. All he cared about was winning a ring, bro. So you can't go from that and then now you've won several rings to now saying you hate ring culture. Like, come on now, dog.
I agree. Another example is Karl Malone would be unanimously the second greatest power forward with just one ring, but he never won. That's you can argue that's true. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
argue like who do you think is the second best power forward in your opinion ever? Who do you think? Is it
Second best,
KG?
well, nah, because Giannis is better than KG.
Okay.
Um, whew. Because first is Timmy for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I probably say Dirk. Probably Dirk, but if I'm being honest, I low key want to say Giannis because I feel like Giannis is better than Dirk.
Oh no, you ain't lying. I think he
So,
better than
but
Dirk too.
Giannis' career isn't over with, so I low key don't want to give it to him yet until he finishes his career off. But I damn near want to say either Giannis or Dirk.
No, that's true. And Karl Malone, you could argue
Yeah,
he's
he's
probably better
second.
than he
Yeah, you
probably
could
better
argue he's
than
second.
Dirk or maybe KG, but he's never won a ring. John Stockton, he could be up there. He was one of the best point guards ever. He could be up there, but he never won. But rings just matter so much. It just that's the ultimate goal. Like that ring, depending on who you are, it beats over everything that you've done. It just has, and it is that shouldn't be it. But that's just how we make it. That's just how we make it. Like I don't think no one will ever pass Tim Duncan as the best power forward because he went to the finals. Bro, Tim Duncan is 5-1 in the finals. Like, been to the finals 6 times, only lost one time.
And if we
And
being
Tim
honest, they
Duncan,
wasn't supposed to lose that one.
I ain't gonna say all that.
They
But
wasn't. They
hey,
wasn't.
Ray Allen clutch. Why blame Pop for not putting Tim
No, I
Duncan
was
in the
just to say
game?
Pop. That's Pop fault.
Why he didn't put Tim Duncan in the game? The
Who
world will
knows?
never know. We'll never know why. We'll never know why. And hypothetically, if Tim Duncan wins that, bro, he's 6-0. Then it's technically a conversation with him and MJ as the greatest players ever. It's a
No, I think people.
conversation.
No, I think people still gonna put MJ over him though.
Oh, that's fine. But it's a conversation. There will be a conversation of who's the best because MJ went 6-0 in the finals. Then Tim Duncan say, hey, I went 6-0 in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So it can hypothetically be in the conversation. So I mean, like I think LeBron is a better player than Jordan, but to some, Jordan is the greatest player ever because he went 6-0 in the finals and he had more scoring titles. He has a defensive player of the year. I don't think he has more MVPs. I think they got about the same. I could be wrong. Somebody check that. Could be wrong. But they're gonna use the rings over you. That's just how it is. Like Charles Barkley was great. Never won.
He
He'd be
deserved the
great.
ring, bro. He
He faced
deserved the
Jordan.
ring.
He faced Jordan.
If Charles Barkley would have won the ring, he damn near would have been second. Him or Karl Malone, if they would have won the ring, they damn near would have been second or third all the time.
So he would have been
Charles
over
Barkley,
Giannis.
Charles Barkley.
Yeah. I mean, you said they would be second all
Mm.
you'd be second all time. So I'm saying,
I
even though
don't.
Giannis'
I
career
say
is
they
still
neck and
going,
neck.
okay.
I'll say they neck and neck. I wouldn't put him over Giannis, but I wouldn't put Giannis over him. I say they neck and neck because people forget how great Charles Barkley was, bro. They really do forget. What Simone said? She said, "I understand what Brian is saying. Our ring culture has been detrimental in the acknowledging the greatest of the game, regardless of having a ring or not."
There are some great players that never won.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they mentioned. I get what she mean. Like they don't talk about the greats who haven't won the ring as much, but they still do talk about them. You know what I mean? But they didn't win. Like, you know what? Why am I talking about, the greats that didn't win? I mean, they still get their acknowledgement and they love, but we're not gonna talk about them as much as the players that won.
No, that's true. Because look, AI is great. But we do not put him up there with Kobe and MJ. We just don't.
Mm-mm.
And that's because he didn't win. If he probably just wins one ring, I think we wouldn't say he's better than them or greater, but I think we put him
He
like
in the
we talk about
conversation.
him. Yes,
Yeah,
we
he's in the
talk about
conversation.
him. We talk about him. Chris Paul. Chris Paul probably never wins another ring. And if he would have won one ring, he would have probably been up there in the conversations with, say, Isaiah
Steph,
Thomas and
Steph,
Steph
Magic.
Curry's. So, that's just how we kind of do it in the NBA. Should it be like that? No. But that's just how it works. Because if LeBron has never won one, and he's been doing this all his career and never won one, you would never be in the conversation with MJ. Never. You wouldn't. And that's just how it is. You have to win rings because that's just how it is. You play the game to win championships. That's the ultimate goal in sports, to win. Now, does everybody want to win? No. Everybody don't want to win. But that is the goal, to win championships. Everybody want to have the celebrity life. All the girls, all the cars, the big houses, the money. You want all that too, but the goal is to win. And if you don't win that one ring, you just don't put in conversations like how you're supposed to. Unless you are like Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds was one of the greatest players ever, even if some people thought he cheated. Whatever. They don't put him in the greats of baseball because he never won. He never won. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, if you don't got nothing else to talk about the ring culture,